Hey, everybody. Welcome into another episode of Corn Culture. Thank you for everyone that has watched so far and listened so far. I appreciate it. I hope this is bringing a little bit of joy to your day. I have a very fun episode today. It's just a question and answer. It's going to be live question and answer. I had some questions sent in to me. You're going to get my live reaction. So if that's entertaining. But first, I need to get to our first sponsor of the day, and I really appreciate the sponsors so far. Today's episode is sponsored by Stage Mi Casa. Stage Mi Casa is a company located in Lincoln, Nebraska, but they serve a small radius outside of Lincoln, Nebraska. I believe they serve Omaha and Columbus, Nebraska, and they stage homes for individuals who are selling their homes. So if you're a realtor or a seller looking to sell their home, or if you're looking for some interior design options, I recommend Stage Mi Casa. They're great. I have used them personally. So go to stagemicasa.com. Just Google it. It's going to be easy to find. The phone number looks like it's 402-781-8551. That is Stage Mi Casa. Stage Mi Casa. It's a combination of English and Spanish. There you go. So I recommend Stage Mi Casa. Thank you, Stage Mi Casa, for sponsoring this episode. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. Well, without further ado, let's get into today's episode. A little bit of a different format today. I'm usually rambling on, talking about random stuff, or I'm interviewing a very beautiful guest of some sort. But today I decided let's do something kind of fun, a question and answer thing. So I put out my email and my social media that if you have a question, just DM it. I put this out yesterday, so I've not seen these questions, by the way. They're just coming in. They're just copy and pasted here, so I've not even read the questions. And I just pulled them from an email, copy and paste, haven't even thought about them. But here we go. Also, if you want to reach out to us, you can reach us at our email address. That is cornculturepodcast@gmail.com. Simple, to the point. There you go. So here we go. Let's see here. Open up the document, and I will get on with the questions. Question number 1. What is a Bible verse everyone needs to hear? That's a good question. There's so many to choose from. Let's pull up the Bible app, the YouVersion Bible app. By the way, I met the CEO, inventor of the YouVersion Bible app, which is the most popular Bible app. Okay, I kind of lied. Didn't meet him. I saw him at a speech. A few months ago, he spoke, and I did not know that he was the inventor of this app. Looks like today's verse of the day is Habakkuk 2:14. This is the New International Version. For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. Thank you, Habakkuk, for sharing that with us today. So there's the verse of the day. That's what you needed to hear. It's a good verse. I recommend it. Next question I got. Best part of having a podcast? Probably all the fame and fortune it's brought me. I have like 90 followers on Instagram now. No, just meeting new people, getting to hear people's stories. If you've seen some of the previous episodes, just hearing people talk about their life, sometimes you kind of feel like you're struggling alone and you feel like things are difficult and you're the only one that's going through this. But you kind of hear other people talk about it, hear other people's stories, and you're like, hold up, wait a minute. I'm also going through that. I'm also struggling. Suffering is the glue that bonds human interaction because everyone has suffered. Everyone's gone through something, but you're tougher because of it. So that's the best part of having a podcast. Thank you for asking that question. I appreciate that. Thank you. Next question. Boom, boom, boom. What do I think of the Buc-ee's going in near Gretna, Nebraska? That's a good question. I do like Buc-ee's. If you haven't been there before, definitely check out Buc-ee's. I believe it's typically only south of Nebraska. There's one near Branson, Missouri. That's probably one of their most north locations. But now near Omaha, Nebraska, near Gretna, there's going to be one. I think it'll be good. It's great. It is sad that it's probably going to wipe out a lot of small gas stations, and I do feel bad for that. So I hope those smaller gas stations do okay. They're able to find an exit route because in case you don't know about Buc-ee's, people, if you're going to be from like Grand Island to Des Moines, Iowa, people are probably going to plan on their stop in Buc-ee's. It's like an amusement park. If you've never been there before, we went to this one a couple months ago. I think there was over 100 gas pumps there. They had all kinds of food. Oh, I love the urinals there. There's so many urinals there. It makes it so easy. It's so clean. You do not have to hold your bladder for too long. So that was good. I think Buc-ee's will be good. I hope the other gas stations find a way to, well, maybe they'll find a way to survive, or sorry, I do feel bad about that. But yep, Buc-ee's, I'm looking forward to that. Good question. Very good question. Thank you for asking that. Next thing, what do I think of LPS's job posting about LGBT? Oh, I saw this headline. Let me look this up. Blah, da, 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 da. Governor Pillen calls woke garbage. Oh, yeah, I heard about this. So, it lets you click on the posting. Brief description of position. The LGBTQ plus advocate specialist will use the strength-based approach to provide academic and cultural support to students and families and school staff, promoting an understanding of student perspectives and assisting with integrating school, The LGBTQ plus advocate will have related advocacy experience. Sorry, this is a long posting. The following rules provide this. Work with community service. I think that's kind of an unnecessary position, to be honest with you. I mean, I can understand why people are mad about that. I mean, using tax dollars for an LGBTQ advocate, I don't even know that. I'm sorry, no offense, it kind of sounds like a made-up position. But then again, don't a lot of businesses, don't a lot of organizations have just made-up positions? No, I don't think you should bully students for maybe perhaps their, actually, now that I think about it, why is it so important to talk about the sexual proclivities of students? I just think maybe we don't need to address that all the time. It just seems kind of unnecessary, a little bit over the top. I mean, what other positions can you add? You add advocate for this or that? I guess what's the limiting principle and how many advocacy positions do you need? Anyway, I will probably not be interviewing that. It says federal programs is the location. Physical class. Anyway, I don't know. That's a good question. I had not researched that. I will look into that. So thank you for asking that question. Like I said, no questions off limits, unless it's pretty inappropriate. But yeah, that's an interesting question. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for asking that. I'm sorry I couldn't provide more insight because I didn't do my research on that. Sorry, but thank you. What are my thoughts on the Husker football team? I don't know. I do not have a lot of hope, to be honest with you, because, you just been hurt. We've just been hurt too many times now. We've just been hurt a few too many times. Here's what I'm hoping is I hope our offense has a little bit more identity. I kind of feel like we had a lack of identity on the offensive side, and obviously defense is bad. If you want to beat the Cornhuskers in football this past season, run the ball. I mean, it was not good sometimes. So you got to establish the run. You have to be able to stop the run. You can't turn the ball over. You've got to establish the line of scrimmage, or else you're in trouble. Your team's in trouble. So, in today's day and age, with the transfer portal and NIL, sometimes you have like a whole new roster. So we'll see what players are here. Let's see how they mesh. I mean, if you told me the team was going to have 5 or 6 wins this year, I'd believe you. If you told me 7 or 8, if you told me 9 or 10, I could also believe that. It's just we're going to see how that half's. It's been tough. I have definitely shed a lot of tears over the past few years. It's been frustrating. So thank you for that question. Kind of made me sad. Next question. Best cheeseburger. That's all that says. Best cheeseburger. I'll say, let's see here, in Lincoln, Nebraska. Now, I'll say this. A number of years ago, there was this place, I believe it was called Burger Fi downtown. Okay, that burger was so good. Highly recommend it. The place is closed, though. Now, a lunch spot I like to go it's called The Pub. It's at 48th and Holdridge Street. Today's Tuesday, actually, now I think about it. They have a deal on cheeseburgers. I recommend them. The cheeseburgers are good. They get out quick. Service is good. Get my Diet Coke. Eat my cheeseburger. So I recommend that place. What else is good? I don't know. I mean, most nicer restaurants, you're not really getting a cheeseburger. So it's more of a lunch meal. or casual fasting. Best fast food burger? Ooh, it's a tough one. I think about it. Sometimes there's just something about a quarter pounder with cheese. Those are just good sometimes. Probably not good for you. But yeah, cheeseburger. I do like cheeseburgers. And it just depends. I mean, haven't had a lot lately, but yeah, eat one of the main food groups of Americans, cheeseburgers. Next question. Scroll down. We talked about football. We talked about cheeseburger. What are the best books I've ever read? Well, besides the Bible, of course, which is important. You should read that every day. We opened up the show with a Bible verse. Best books. I enjoy The Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. Very good. A satirical look at the spiritual warfare around us. So I recommend The Screwtape Letters. Very good. That's by C.S. Lewis. Animal Farm by George Orwell. Probably my favorite book by George Orwell. Very good. Some animals are equal. No, I'm sorry. That's not. All animals are equal. But some animals are more equal than others. So, very good. Very good book. That one's very good. I guess I don't read a lot of books, to be honest. I probably should read more books. To Kill a Mockingbird was pretty good. I think we read that a long time ago. But I like C.S. Lewis. Mere Christianity's pretty good. So I recommend those. Yeah, you should read books. There's also another book I really read, and it was called Irreversible Damage. I recommend that too. It's kind of a look into adolescence and gender identity. I recommend that book too. It's pretty interesting. So that would be a nonfiction example. So yeah, keep reading your books. Good question. I'm kind of embarrassed I haven't read more books. So you've inspired me. Thank you for asking that. Next question. Where is Savannah Guthrie's mom? That was kind of random. That's a good question. So this is being recorded. Today's Tuesday, February 17th. The last thing I heard was they kind of have no leads, but they've ruled out the family. So the siblings and the family have been ruled out as suspects. So I guess that's good, but that actually kind of an interesting question. That is kind of a bizarre case because they have no lead. I think it's been like 17 days or something. No leads, apparently. Nothing. And then they come out with that video they have that video of the guy with, it looked like he had facial hair. And, oops, my phone's ringing. And I hope this is still recording. My phone was ringing. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know. Hopefully that was not important. Well, anyway, they come out with that like video of that guy in the Ring doorbell camera. What the heck was that? He tried to cover it up with this little brush, and then so I don't know. The mom's been kidnapped. I don't know why. There's been these ransom letters come in. Are they fake? Are they real? But that was interesting. I'll be anxious to see what ends up being the truth. What ended up really happening. It kind of reminds me of, not to get too far off on a tangent, but everyone was obsessed with that Tyler Goodrich case out of Lincoln, Nebraska, that guy that went missing. If you don't remember, I think it was like November of 2023, and then he was found, I guess, in like February, March of 2025. But he was missing forever, like with no evidence, without a trace. And then I guess they concluded that it was a suicide. And they found his body. But anyway, there's, not to be disrespectful to the family, there's a lot of people like that still think that that's not the truth and stuff. Anyway, this has turned into a conspiracy theory podcast now, but I don't know. That one was bizarre too. Like no evidence, forever. They suspected his significant other, and then no, and then this and that. And I've always wondered if there'll be something else come out about that case. But yeah, this Savannah Guthrie, what's her mom's name? Nancy, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember. Sorry. But I hope she gets found. That's too bad. If you kidnap an old woman, not good. What do I have going on this week is the next question. What do I have going on this week? Who's here? I gotta look around. So tomorrow is my mother's 50th birthday. Plot twist. We're throwing a surprise birthday party. So I will not be posting this before tomorrow. This video will not go live because it's my mom's surprise birthday party. So in hindsight, I guess I'll tell you how it went when I record the next episode. So there you go. That's what's going on. And then I'm just working this week, doing stuff, doing my best, working in some real estate stuff, and doing this podcast today. So thank you. Not really much going on. I hope the birthday party goes good tomorrow. Next question. Scroll down here. How old are you? I think I'm 27. I was born in 98. Born in 98. I haven't had a birthday this year. So I was born in September of 1998. Gen Z. So I am 27. Thanks for asking the question. Now you know the truth. How was the March for Life? When was that? Was that 2 or 3 weekends ago? January 31st. I think it was January 31st is when it was. It was good. It was cold, though. It was very cold. There were no counter protests or well, there was a couple, but I was hoping there'd be more. Maybe be a little more exciting. But yeah, most of Nebraska's elected officials were there. Well, the Republicans were there. So the governor was there. I think two of the congressmen were there. None of the senators were there. State senators were there. But it was good. It was very cold. I think it was 5 degrees. I didn't bring any gloves. I didn't bring my mittens, so my fingers were cold. But, excuse me. It was fun. It was very good. Good cause. And there were glazed donuts at the end. I had a sign that said, my sign said, everyone deserves a birthday. It's kind of fun. So yeah, very good question. Next question. Can I share a fun fact? That's a good question. Share a fun fact. I heard one time that everyone that's been born blind no one has ever developed schizophrenia who's been born blind. So no blind person that was born blind has ever developed schizophrenia. But that's random. It's kind of dark, but that's what I kind of heard. Let me think of a better fun fact. Fun fact, did you know, man, you put them on the spot. It's hard to think of a fun fact. I'm sorry. I'll think of a fun fact next time. Good question. Thank you. Next question. It just says turtles, question mark. Turtles. Every time I hear the word turtle, here's what I think of. There's a movie called Over the Hedge. And they called it Exterminator to get rid of the animals. And he like sniffs. He's like, amphibian. No. Reptile. So I believe turtles are reptiles. I believe. So I could be wrong though. Some people might think they're amphibians. But turtles are cool. For the most part, I think. I like turtles. Nothing against them. Good question. Good question. Thank you for asking that. Oh, man, we've already been recording 20 minutes. I've gotten through almost all your questions. Okay, how many questions? I have 2 questions left. Let's see here. Next question. Do you need to be baptized? I guess that means should you be baptized? Yes, you should be baptized. In my opinion, no. If you don't physically immerse yourself in water, can you still go to heaven? Yes, I would say. That's a good question. I tend to think that baptism is largely just symbolic. It's a public proclamation of your starting new life. Like in John chapter 3. This next week at church, we'll be talking about John chapter 3. You must be born again. No, I would say you don't need to physically be dipped in the water, although you should. But it's important that you just start your new life with Christ. Good question. Okay, last question. Did I skip one? That might have been all of them. Last question. Well, I'll think of a question to ask myself. Well, no, that must be all the questions. I have a question for you. This is a quote from Nacho Libre. Have you been baptized? You should be baptized. Yeah, you should. So it's good. Let me leave the audience with a question. Let's keep it simple. So what's an inspirational question I can ask? What are you going to do to make someone else's day be great? Well, that's a good question. What are you going to do today to make someone else's day, to make it great? Make your day great again. Perhaps. New campaign. But, well, anyway, thank you for asking all these questions, guys. Thank you for sending them in. if this episode gets more than 5 views, no, I'll do another question and answer episode. Yeah, I guess. So thank you for sending your questions. And thank you for listening to another episode of Corn Culture. And of course, thank you, Stage Mi Casa, for sponsoring this episode. That has been our question and answer episode. I hope you've learned something. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked listening. And never give up and never give in. Thanks. Have a great day.